everybody! 大家好! I welcome you to Jade Palace Yamingo. My name is Yaya. Let's talk about an interesting festival all about the ancestors. So, let's get started! QingMing Jie, the QingMing Festival, is a pretty old festival. Not as old as many of the ancient ones, but still a good 1300 years oldish. One of the things unique about this festival is that it's not based on the lunar calendar, but the solar one. It's always 15 days after the spring equinox, so between April 4th or 6th. This is the only festival that always lands around the same day every year on the Gregorian calendar. Yesterday was the QingMing Festival, which fell on April 5th. This festival will last for 3 days, so festivities will end tomorrow. The QingMing Festival is also called 扫坟节, Two Sweeping Day, because this holiday is all about going to the cemeteries and cleaning up the tombs of our deceased family and ancestors. Another unique aspect of this festival was that it didn't always exist. All of its traditions and origin was based on another festival, the Cold Food Festival. We've covered the Cold Food Festival before, so definitely go check that out if you want to learn all about the origin story to how it all got started. Which means that the origin of this festival is basically the Cold Food Festival. All of its traditions and festivities were taken directly from that festival and created the QingMing Festival. Over time, these two festivals gradually combined into one. This did make the Cold Food Festival obsolete over the course of history, to the point that it's only celebrated depending on the province, and even then, it's not as strictly celebrated. But since these two festivals are so closely related, it's really hard to talk about the QingMing Festival without talking about the Cold Food Festival. So what is the origin of the festival we celebrate now? The Cold Food Festival began around the spring-autumn period of the Zhou dynasty, but the QingMing Festival didn't come into fruition until post-Han dynasty. The original celebration date of the Cold Food Festival was during the winter solstice, where it was a month-long tradition of not using fire to prepare or cook food. This was bad since the elderly and children were getting sick and dying. During the Three Kingdoms period, festivities were changed from the winter solstice to the QingMing solar term, where it was also shortened to 3 days instead of lasting for 1 month. It was not until 732 CE where Emperor Tang Minghuang of the Tang dynasty declared that this festival will formally be where respect will be given to the ancestors' graves. He also declared it a national holiday. The inclusion of the tradition of tomb cleaning and ancestral worship officially began during this dynasty and has continued since. The length of celebration was further shortened from 3 days to 1 day. The QingMing Festival continued to be an important holiday during the Song dynasty, but around this time the significance of the Cold Food Festival incredibly decreased. By the Qing dynasty, the Cold Food Festival has all but disappeared and was fully replaced by the QingMing Festival. Here's where it can get a little complicated. Prior to the integration of the Cold Food Festival, we had the QingMing solar term. We still have the QingMing solar term. Just because this festival didn't exist prior to the Tang dynasty doesn't mean that this period of time wasn't significant. There are 24 solar terms, and this is how ancient China organized the regularity of seasons. It also helped as a time frame for agriculture and daily activities. QingMing is one of the 24 solar terms. QingMing means bright and clear. It's called this due to the nature and climate of the season. Around this period of time, it's noticeably warmer and brighter. We can finally wear lighter clothing and take walks outdoors to see the growth of spring. Bright and clear springtime. How is the QingMing Festival celebrated? Since this holiday was originally another one, it retained the same form of celebrations from it, so the QingMing festivities are the cold food festivities. The reason why this festival is also called Tomb Sweeping Day is because the major custom of this holiday is visiting your ancestors' tomb to clean and perform basic maintenance on their burial grounds. In ancient times, when a person passes away, they are buried in their hometown, which is usually in the countryside. Even families in larger urban cities would travel back to their ancestral homes. Incense or joss sticks will be placed near the tombs. Offerings of food and paper money will be sacrificed to the ancestors. These paper money or joss money are a special kind of currency meant for the deceased. The paper money will either be placed by the tomb or burned in order for your ancestors to receive it in the afterlife. After cleaning the graves, the living family members will bow to it and place fresh flowers. The bowing and placing of flowers signifies our respect to the ancestors and also show them that they're still in our memories. A good analogy for Westerners in North America to understand this festival is that it's very similar to Dia de los Muertos or the Day of the Dead. Another traditional activity is flying kites. It's not uncommon to see children and adults flying kites during the day and also in the evening. In some provinces, they attach little lanterns onto the kites. They may also cut the strings, letting the kites fly off for good luck. And other activities also include swinging on swings, games, and poetry. Many of these activities originated during the Tang Dynasty, and you can see how much the climate of this solar term influenced celebration activities. They're very much springtime activities, meant to enjoy the favorable change in weather. What are the food customs of this festival? Every important Chinese holiday tends to have one. Again, we see the influence of the Cold Food Festival as the food traditions of the QingMing Festival are similar to it. During the Cold Food Festival, it was taboo to use fire even to cook food, so people would eat cold food during this time. While we no longer follow the fire taboos, it's still common to see people eating cold or pre-prepared foods during the QingMing Festival. One common food that you will see people eating during this festival are qing tuan. These are sweet rice balls colored by green mugworts. They usually have a bean paste filling. Other foods include qingming cakes called sazi, crispy fried food made from wheat or glutinous rice flour. It can include eggs, sesame, onion, salt, and more. Or qingming zong, sticky rice dumplings. Like the ones for the Dragon Boat Festival, the convenience of being wrapped in bamboo leaves makes it the perfect food to take out or offer as offerings. Time has changed how we celebrate this festival and the modern interpretation of this holiday. It's not just about commemorating the ancestors anymore. On May 20th, 2006, the QingMing Festival was listed as one of the first national intangible cultural events, and people will have a 3-day weekend since it's a public holiday. Modern citizens take advantage of the favorable early April weather. Trees have just turned green, flowers are blooming, and it's a near perfect time to enjoy spring's beautiful scenery. So modern traditions don't just include ancestral worship and veneration, it also includes taking time for ourselves for a nice spring outing. We see the influence of this festival in other Asian cultures as they also celebrate their own version of the QingMing Festival around this time. Many countries like Vietnam, South Korea, Singapore, and Japan celebrate with traditions similar or a varied version of this festival. Generally, they also include cleaning the tombs of their ancestors and offering food offerings. Chinese culture, since ancient times, has always held an importance of ancestral worship. Many of our most important traditions and holidays stem from ancient ancestral veneration. So it isn't surprising that we have a specific day just to celebrate and show our continued respect to our ancestors. Because without them, we wouldn't have our today. I have a Teespring if you like to support the channel. I have a lot of super cute designs that I'm really proud of, so please check it out if you can. Link is in the description below. So what do you guys think? Does your culture have a similar tradition of ancestral tomb cleaning? Leave a comment down below because I would like to know. You can also let me know what topics you'd like to see me cover in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to Jade Palace Yaminggong. I would very much appreciate it. And until next time, 再见了，拜拜。